Bernie Sanders, he used to actually believe, did he not, that migration into the country unchecked would actually be really, really bad for working class Americans. I'm going to show you a tape from 2015. Okay, this is important. I want you to watch this because here he is in this interview and he's saying something that actually sounds a whole lot like the Trump camp. It's like, Bernie, you kind of are getting a little MAGA there. Okay, so just remember this before we go to Cory Booker and see his big performance. This is Bernie Sanders, 2015, you guys.
Open borders.
Open borders.
That's a Koch brothers proposal. The idea, of course, I mean, that's a right-wing proposal which says essentially there is no United States.
But it would make a lot of global poor richer, wouldn't it?
And it'd make everybody in America poor. Then you're doing away with the concept of a nation state. And I don't think there's any country in the world which believes in that. If you believe in a nation state, or in a country called the United States or UK or Denmark or any other country, you have an obligation, in my view, to do everything we can to help poor people. What right-wing people in this country would love is an open border policy. Bring in all kinds of people who work for $2 or $3 an hour. That would be great for them. I don't believe in that. I think we have to raise wages in this country. I think we have to do everything that we can to create the millions of jobs. You know what youth unemployment in the United States of America today? If you're white, a white kid, high school graduate, 33%, a Hispanic, 36%, African-American, 51%. You think we should open the borders and bring in a lot of low-wage workers? Or do you think maybe we should try to get jobs for those kids? So I think from a moral responsibility, we've got to work with the rest of the industrialized world to address the problems of international poverty. But you don't do that by making people in this country even poorer.
There's no doubt about it. I mean, she was holding a press conference and doing a press statement. He's not a member of the press. It wasn't like a hearing where it was an open forum for senators to ask a question. He clearly showed up to a public event to create a moment and do what you're saying, sort of show his constituents, not just Democrats, but that he's fighting from his perspective.
Fighting from his perspective. All right, there you go. There you have it. Even CNN knows this was nuts. This was just an actor doing his thing. I mean, couldn't they have gotten Adam Schiff? Oh, no, he's too recognizable. See, like people would have recognized Adam Schiff. This one nobody knew, so he kind of could, slide under the radar and get in there. And then they say, oh my gosh, if they can take him down, they can take you down, they can take anyone down. And so this was Cory Booker, senator from New Jersey's little moment of fame, you guys. And it's wild. It's wild because if you go back a few years, look at, say, Bernie, they had a very different view on this policy, okay? Very, very, very different view on this policy. You fast forward today, what's different? Trump. That's one thing, right? So they have to stand in opposition to Trump. So therefore they make immigration the issue. But the other thing that's really alarming, and you can go back to what New York was trying to do, and we showed you the New York Times report, 800,000 non-citizens that they were trying to make voters in the state of New York until it got all the way up to the appeals court, and the appeals court was like, no, you can't do this. They can't vote in state elections. So you wonder, okay, one, do they want people to vote? And two, do they actually want to change the demographics of districts so that if you have more people in a particular district, you count them in your population, and therefore you can have more Democrats in there in Congress, right? Like, I don't think it's conspiracy theory anymore to say that. I think we know exactly what they were doing. And by sending them to Texas and sending them to Florida, the idea is, okay, we're going to get more people there. And the hope is that we're going to have more people to vote blue. And so there is a method to the madness that, should have been called out, is being called out, but they're not willing to do so. Instead, they're trying to twist this into something else entirely. Okay, you ready? We're going to watch Cory get all dramatic on us like he deserves some kind of Emmy award. Yeah, it would be an Emmy too, right? For this performance, ladies and gentlemen, Senator Cory Booker from New Jersey, not to be outdone by Senator Padilla from California. He needs his 3 minutes of fame. Watch.
And this son of Mexican immigrants who clean homes and serve food, this man with equal dignity in this body, today was driven violently to his knees, as if made to kneel before the authority of the executive, because he was so-called disrespectful. That should offend the consciousness not just of the other 99 members of this body. It should offend the conscience of this country. Because if you can make Alex Padilla forcibly kneel before this executive, when does it stop? He's a United States senator. And if you could force him to kneel to his knees violently, when does it stop? What does it say to other Americans who want to speak up? What does it say to other Americans that want to exercise their constitutional duty? What does it say to other Americans this weekend when they want to peacefully protest? What does it say to other Americans from humble backgrounds who know poverty? That if a United States senator who stands up to do his job can be made to heel, driven to his knees, violently handcuffed, what does it say?
Okay.
What message does...
Okay, we get the picture. We know where you're going with this. We weren't born yesterday, okay? We're astute political people, too, here on the Trish Regan Show. And that was, ladies and gentlemen, a performance by the senator out in California, a performance by Cory Booker, because you know what? They've realized they're kind of screwed, okay? For lack of a better word, they're kind of screwed. Because guess what the court just decided? The court decided that, yes, the federal government has the power that we always knew they did have. So if you choose to violate the law, and if you choose to actually say we're going to welcome everyone and refuse to cooperate with ICE, even when we have people that are here illegally that have committed crimes, then guess what? You're going to be in trouble, and you're going to be standing in opposition to the law. And that's exactly what's going on. This is nothing about kings. This is nothing about this or that. I mean, politically speaking, yeah, that's how they're going to try and play it.